Good morning again from the Stealthmobile. You know what time it is. Let's get this thing flipped real quick and eat a Pop-Tart, drink some apple juice, and get on the road. I left my fridge unplugged last night like a doofus, but luckily it got down to about freezing, so it's still pretty cold in there. So that means we will have some nice cold apple juice. The suction cup just came off the foam mount, so while we wait for that to reapply, our game of Pop-Tart roulette will be brought to you by my steering wheel mount. So, all right, let's see where we're at today. Guesses? I'm just gonna say Apple Jacks because that's what we've had the past few days, and that might be all what I put in there now that I think about it. But either way, we're gonna have to restock the snack bag, so let's find out. Doo-doo-doo-doo. I win again. Let's dig in. Yeah, can I get that camping rig? That's awesome. All right, car's filled up. Let's start our journey to Chimney Rock. Quick note from the editor here before this next part. I'm going to apologize in advance for the wind noise. I am currently working on getting a microphone. So we are here at Chimney Rock in Bayard, Nebraska. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Chimney Rock is a very significant historical site. This was a stopping point for many people on the Oregon Trail, which the museum says is one of the largest migrations in human history. So this giant chimney-shaped rock was a good stopping point. It's estimated that between 95 and 97% of people that wrote journals or letters about the Oregon Trail, they mentioned Chimney Rock. So it's a very, very significant portion. This whole area is actually pretty significant. This was a very fertile river valley. The North Platte River runs through here. So it was very nice to have after the trek across the desolate plains. So areas like this are few and far between. Chimney Rock and the surrounding bluffs are a river formation on the North Platte River. And a river formation basically is where the river cuts through the land. So that's things like the Grand Canyon or river formation. You know, in Minnesota where you have the Mississippi River creating mountains around it, that's a river formation. That basically just means it's not its own independent mountain range. It is just a formation that has been carved by the river cutting through the land. So Scotts Bluff is no different. The North Platte River is creating all these formations. At one point, a long, long time ago, all these bluffs were the height of the actual plains. This was a higher plains ecosystem, so than it actually is now. But the North Platte River cut through and, created all these bluffs and just left these outcroppings that will eventually wither away over time to be at the same level as we are right now. But for now, they're just magnificent outcroppings to look at. When migrants, as they are referred to, were first making their treks out west to Oregon, places like the Willamette Valley, which is fertile and they had heard of, and later on California, they would follow the North Platte River, mainly along the south bank. And this had advantages and disadvantages to that. Whenever you follow a river, there's always resources close by. You have water, drinking water maybe if you're brave enough. There's also firewood because river valleys contain fertile areas that are also going to have trees. So whenever you're traveling through the plains, it's going to look a lot like this. There's not a whole lot of trees or anything that's going to offer you sustenance. You're going to have ample grass for your oxen team or whatever animals you have to feed on, but you're not going to have any resources for yourself. So following the river offers those resources, and people took advantage and followed the North Platte River for upwards of 600 miles. Many people followed along the south bank. As you can see, this side right here, this is the south side of the river, and those were the Oregon Trail for the most part followed, but other people chose the north side, like the Mormons who were escaping persecution back east. To further escape persecution, they traveled along the north side, which had its also share of disadvantages and advantages. Seeing as many people traveled along the south side, forts and trading posts were established to protect people and also for trade. And when the Mormons traveled along the north side, although they had ample resources, more than the people on the south side did, they didn't have access to those trading posts and those forts. They would have to come across the river, which you could cross on foot, although it was very dangerous, and you did not want to cross with your team of oxen, as the bottom is very sandy. The river is shallow and passable in some places, but it's very, very risky to cross. Sioux and the Arapaho, I believe I pronounced that correctly, correct me if I'm wrong, were the two prominent Native American tribes in this area. And although they welcomed trade with migrants, they made them nervous. They feared that the white man would eventually lay claim to this area and their lands, which they traveled through. And sadly, that became true. All right, well, that was a fun time at Chimney Rock. That was a cool spot to see, but we got to head on the road and get to our next spot before it closes, so we're going to head there. Also, if the angle looks a little bit different in here, it's because it is. We're in the vent mount right now because the suction cup is re-curing on my dashboard for the dashboard mount, so hopefully that'll get fixed, or hopefully I fixed it correctly. But other than that, this is a really cool place. There's a museum up here. I'll throw some pictures up right now. It's really cool. You can like load a wagon and stuff and spin a wheel to see how your day on the Oregon Trail goes. They had some funny shirts in there too, but definitely check out the museum. It costs $8 to go in if you're an adult, and kids get in free, so that was pretty cool. But other than that, yeah, I guess we're gonna go ahead and head to the next spot at warp speed.
Let's make some noise. That's a good choice.
Hey everybody, quick note from the editor right here. In between the last clip and the one that's coming up soon, I visited Agate Fossil Beds National Monument. As I mentioned in the last video, I did not obtain a permit, so I cannot film there, so I apologize for that. When I left Scottsbluff today, it was pretty temperate, about 60 degrees. There was some rain in the forecast, but never could I have imagined in April that this would be on the menu. Just a little bit of snow. Nothing too crazy. View's pretty nice, though. Fueling up real quick before we head to camp tonight, and then we'll be in good shape. Just walking up here to the fee station to pay my dues, and of all the things I've ever done, I've never camped in the snow before, so you can add that to my repertoire, I guess. But camping in the snow, it's not really snowing right now. It's funny, just as I say that, it stopped snowing, but it has been snowing, so just know that. Camping in the snow, baby. The funny thing about camping in the cold is when you like pull something out of your cooler or your camping refrigerator, and you think, wait a second, this isn't very cold, is something wrong? And then you realize, oh wait, it's 32 degrees outside. Makes sense. We're just currently waiting on our water to boil right now so we can throw our hot dogs in. My favorite baseball team, the Reds, play today, and I'm going to be able to watch it here shortly while I sit down with my dinner. So I thought, what better way to celebrate watching a little baseball with some hot dogs? Snow is picking up now. It's collecting on my jacket pretty good. So as you can see right there, and on my other arm. So it's going to be a chilly one tonight, but nothing a 0 degree bag can't handle. 0 degree bag in a big metal box, might I add. He's boiling. Let's throw him in. Go with your brethren. One thing I do not think about whenever I'm cooking or eating hot dogs is what's in hot dogs. Because I think if I wanted to think about it or knew it was in hot dogs, I wouldn't eat hot dogs. And I like hot dogs. Nothing like a good pot of boiling water to keep you warm when it's cold outside, and then subsequently make you colder because the water vapor collects on your hands and face. We have about 3 more minutes until these puppies, pun intended, are ready. Well, that was rather tasty. Now, we're back in the car, and we're going to watch that baseball game. But we're going to do things a little bit differently. You see, we've driven 1,000 miles. We've roughed it, and for that, we deserve a little luxury. So, how are we going to watch this baseball game, you say? Which we're about to do, we need 3 tools. Tool number 1, a USB hub. Tool number 2, an HDMI cord. And the third tool, this 12-inch TV that only pulls 20 watts of power from my power station. Let's get cracking. Howdy, everybody. We're just hanging out here after a nice day of seeing some sights, and we even got to watch some baseball and got some editing done, so that's nice. We're just hanging out here in the camp mobile. which is pretty much the same as the Stealthmobile, except the main difference between the Camping Mobile and the Stealthmobile is I get to move stuff into different places to create a sleeping area outside the car versus being stealth and doing it all inside the car, which is not as easy as the Camping Mobile, but the end product is the same. But we're just going to go ahead and call it a night and go to sleep. We're going to hit the button on our light bar right here, and lights are going to go off in 3, 2, 1. Good morning from the Camping Mobile here in Nebraska. We're going to get this thing switched over to drive mode and then eat some breakfast. We can't have OG breakfast today because I'm all out of apple juice, but we'll definitely have some Apple Jacks Pop-Tarts. But just because I say that, they'll probably come out strawberry, which is just my luck. We're going to have to get this condensation off my windows because my condensation suppression system, which is basically just these CPU fans installed on my window covers that connect to power banks, the power banks died last night. So we're going to have to get this condensation off. So other than that, we're going to get ready to roll and enjoy this beautiful day. Let's go for a little morning walk, shall we? One thing about me is you can see how tall I am compared to this car. So I think it's pretty impressive that I'm able to pack all my camping gear in here and also manage to get the front seat all the way back. So I'm pretty proud of that. You know, I'm pretty good at packing cars. People have told me because they think that I'm so good at it that I should, can get all this stuff here, that I should try Tetris. But, being so good at packing cars doesn't mean I like it. It could mean that I don't like dealing with it, so I figure out a way to get it done as fast as possible. But I think I'm pretty darn good at it. Thanks, Dad. Well, now that we have the car almost packed, except for the tripod that the camera's on, I'm going to introduce the newest segment on this channel, and that is going to be Campground Review. We are here at the Red Cloud Campground in the Nebraska National Forest. This is the only campground in the Nebraska National Forest. This campground, it costs $10 a night to stay here. There is one double site, and I believe it's going to be $20 a night because usually the price of double sites in Forest Service and BLM campgrounds is going to be twice that of a single. So national parks usually differ a little bit more. Their sites are a little bit different pricing, but mainly in Forest Service and BLM campgrounds, if it doesn't say the price of a double, it's probably double that of a single. That just makes sense, I guess. So this campground, I like it a lot. It smells like Ponderosa pine. There is nobody here right now. I'm the only one. Some of the sites are a little bit unlevel. Some of them are level. My site, which is number 11, and the one across the way, which I'm assuming is number 12, they look pretty level. But this campground has no services. There is one pit toilet over there, and there's a few trash receptacles, but other than that, there's not going to be any water or electric, so you're on your own for that. This campground is probably going to cater to smaller rigs and camper vans and cars. You could probably get a trailer up here, a small one if you wanted to, but a big old RV is probably not going to make it up here, just because the road is a little bit windy to get up here. It's dirt, gravel, but it's probably going to cater to smaller rigs. So, and you probably wouldn't want to bring an RV up here just because there's no services, but smaller rigs, trailers, cars, vans, tent campers, all the rage. Each site has a fire ring and a grill. Some of the sites have the grill on the fire ring, but most of them, including The one across the way, which I'm assuming is number 10, mine, they both have a grill and a fire ring separate. So, but other than that, in terms of location, the town of Chadron is about 10 minutes that way. It's gonna have normal services like a Walmart, chain restaurants, everything. So if you forget something, you can get it close by. There's also the Chadron State Park, which also has a campground, but it's a little more expensive. That's close, that's right next door. I'm not gonna visit that on this trip, but if you wanna check that out, it's really close by if you're ever at the Red Cloud Campground. But I like this campground a lot. The only con, and you can hear it behind me, it's a major con that I have, is the road. And you're really close to the road, really easy to get to the campground, but the price is you get to listen to the road. So it usually quieted down. It quieted down last night between 10 o'clock and then started back up at around 7 o'clock this morning. So it was easy to sleep, not a whole lot of noise, but during the day, you'll probably get a little bit annoyed by it. The stay limit here is 14 days. I don't think I can make it here 14 days just because the road back there, but the stay limit here is 2 weeks. So that's pretty nice. But other than that, I'm gonna rate this campground a respectable 7 out of 10 Ponderosa pine cones. That's gonna conclude campground review. I'm gonna take one more stroll through here just because I love the smell of the pine. I love places like this. I love it out west. It's so nice. All right, we're all packed up and ready to go. Just let the car warm up for a little bit, so I believe we're ready to get out of here. So let's get on the road. We've officially made it to South Dakota. So we're gonna go and hit some cool spots. I think we're gonna go to Wind Cave first, so I won't be able to film that, but we're going there. So Wind Cave, here we come. Let's hope we get on the tour. You know, people tell me all the time that I'm crazy, and I usually don't give it much thought, but I'm flying down the road with the windows down, and that's cool until you realize that it's 38 degrees outside. So yeah, I'm crazy. Apparently, they have a town here called Crazy Horse. Okay. Well, howdy everybody. Things look a little bit different right now, and that's because we are not in the Campmobile, the Stealthmobile, or in drive mode. No, we're in a hotel room. That is because I have a very important meeting tomorrow, and I want to make sure I'm set up for success for that, because you don't want to start a new chapter by not showering in 4 days and introducing yourself to somebody. So as for the road trip that we're currently on, it's not quite over for me just yet. However, for you guys and the videos that you're going to be seeing, this is going to conclude that road trip for you guys. There's not going to be any more side quests, if you will. However, there is going to be some more content, some more adventures coming down the pipeline, so just stay tuned, and we're going to get those out to you guys. But until then, rest easy and travel light, everybody. Thanks for coming along, and thanks for watching.